is ready to go in, with the exception of these fucking studs. And I can't remember for the life of me how I got them out of that one. I thought that I just reamed on them with some fucking channel locks and a hammer. But apparently these ones are a lot more resilient, as you can see. And somebody just, like, drilled through these ones somehow, which I don't understand, because I can't fucking do that for the life of me. I'm trying, but it's not working. And, yeah. I'm in the contemplation if I fight these to get it off. I got the inductive heater floating around right here, the old hot rod. But I really didn't want to have to deal with that nonsense, because last time I did this on the other engine, well, so, backstory, I have another engine that's sitting at my mother's house, but it's shit and condemned because I pulled the fucking valve cover and the spark plugs out of it a couple years ago and forgot about it, and then it filled full of water, and if I wanted to do anything I'd have to pull it apart, hone it out, and fucking, it's just a fucking headache. I thought about it, that's why it's still sitting around. But anyway, I pulled the manifold off at one time, and it was a fucking nightmare to do that, and I really don't want to have to go through that on both of these to fucking just swap them around because I can't drill some fucking holes out. So I'm trying to figure out some ingenuity how to get this fucking stud out and get that one out and enlarge these holes to be where they ought to be. I kind of expected this engine not to be too bad. I can't say for sure how hot it's gotten, but I recall reading some 1200 Celsius number at IFO after doing some two-stepping. But they come off pretty easy. The ones underneath are all kind of rusted into studs, so they come off like that. But ones up on top, they come off really easy. I don't know how the other engine is going to be. I hope it's not this one. Like everything else, it's got to be easy, all but that one fucking bolt. No, I can't fucking fit no extension through there. Well, can't fit no, fucking, gotta go find a goddamn wrench. Another victory, although it's late. But I can actually finally put the engine in the car now. I just spent forever fighting and drilling out these fucking studs. My battery died, and then my drill bits got fucking, I mean, just look at that. Murdered. So I found some fucking hobo freight bits inside, and another smaller bit, and another bigger bit, and made it happen. Oh, I didn't end up taking a manifold off the other engine because I struggled for a long time. So this is the alternative. And yeah. Crunchy New England cars will leave you with these little itty bitty clips that I'm supposed to try to reuse for the cable ends. I think I might go and try to make something. I got some sheet metal floating around. Either that or have her dad try to make something. But it doesn't look like it's anything that crazy. Gotta line that up and get them in there. Dog bone underneath. Making progress though. Just for reference, this is the type of shit that it's taken for me to get this mount in, because it's so tight in that corner, and the solid mounts have like no budge whatsoever. This little fancy maneuver where I grab the jack handle and shake the shit out of it, get it to go down. Looks like it's moving. Now I can drop that shit. And the dog bone is holding them up. Damn it! It's 11:40. Trans mount done, buttoned up. Could be shifted a little bit to be aligned. I'll worry about that tomorrow. Engine mount's done. Dog bone is lined up. Needs to be fucking put back together and the bolts put through. Axle's gotta go on and go through. Probably gotta drop these 3 bolts to do that. But the engine and transmission are in the bay on their own. I'm tired. But I'm stoked. Very happy. I forgot also how much it fucking sucks to have to move around and adjust and fucking try to get these BFI mounts to line up perfectly. They have such tight tolerances because there's no wiggle room. Like, that's a fucking straight hole. There's no slot on this side. There's a little bit of a slot on this side. But where it sits is where it sits, basically. And it's got one place where it lines up. And you gotta sit there and fight it and fight it and fight it. But the result of it is awesome because you get zero movement in the drivetrain. I mean, you ain't gonna fucking... Yeah, I mean, you guys have seen it already. Very, very excited. Very, very happy to have the transmission in, everything in. I need to do the shift cables. It's right here. I need to do the clutch line. Sorry, I'm just trying to get everything through. Which runs up to the slave cylinder there, or the master cylinder right there. There goes the oil cap. I did get these out. I think I took a video of that. I gotta get all these lines back on for the coolant and everything. These go to the heater core, to and from. This is the brake booster line here. I said I was gonna make up a new one. I have some hose inside somewhere I gotta go find. Of course, all the connections. This barb here has got to be remade up for the purge valve. I got some coolant lines in the front to go back on. This guy on the ground here, the radiator, and the fucking core support and everything, of course. I guess I'll fix that now while I'm here. The only thing I don't have for this engine that I didn't anticipate is an oil pan. The other one has a brand new pan on it, fucking 3 months ago. I put it on. But if I pulled it off, I wouldn't have a pan on that one. So I guess I gotta buy another one. It's like $40. It ain't a lot of money, but definitely need an oil pan on here before I go out anywhere. That's pretty bad. Look, it looks like a car again. I just had to, comment on this, too. This shit's gonna feel so fucking solid. This is a factory OEM short shifter, the metal side-to-side relay. It's got billet bushings with brass inserts, so no wobble, no play, nothing in the fucking linkages. Either of them. This one's an IE bushing. This one's a Euro tuning bushing. You got the metal cable bracket in the back there to hold it. No flex there. I've got the cup shimmed. Very little wiggle. I might be able to shim it a little more. And when I say that, I mean, feel like this ball down there. A lot of the play is just that ball. You can shim the white plastic and create more inward pressure on it so that it doesn't wiggle so much, but it's getting done. For a few minutes, this weather gets fucking dumber and dumber. It's fucking snowing out now, again. And it's just, it was just sunny a couple minutes ago. But I got the clutch line routed through and tucked in and attached to the master back in there. Tuck that back down. That's all set. I got the cables for the shifter routed through. I got to pin the shift knob and then set it. But we got our side to side and front to back. And it's actually kind of returns to center still, which is nice. But there's a pin down in there. You can see the holes. I gotta line those up, drop a pin through it. It's like a 6mm pin. I'm just gonna use a fucking drill bit. I've already pinned the transmission so that I can set it. The bushings are in. This is the Euro tuning billet bushing, and this is the IE billet bushing to mix and match for the right size pins. I gotta go inside and find some vacuum line. I did hook up this one, which goes to the check valve that I've tucked underneath. I need to do all the wiring harness stuff. The only hardware piece that's left to do is the axles. There's nothing really crazy about doing them. I just have to undo the 3 ball joint bolts on the bottom. I might not even have to. In the past, I've been able to just slide them through and stick them in sideways, but I'm just gonna do it right. And then I gotta bleed the clutch, and I think that's literally it, aside from put it all back together. But everything is in the car. Everything is there. Super stoked, super happy. Still have the chain on it. It was coming together. Damn, so now that, see, I got the shifter set with the pin, which is this drill bit sitting in that post there. And that sets the cables exactly as they need to be, covered in snow. But so that I can put them onto the cable ends, which are those and those. So I just had Ross pump the clutch, get the pedal stiff as good as we could get it, and get most of the air out. Now I am gravity bleeding it, is what it's called. I just fill it up and let it run the fluid out, and slowly it's doing it. Diesel Geek recommends this procedure on their YouTube to bleed the clutches, and it seemingly works well enough. I'm definitely getting fluid out of it. The goal is to get all the air bubbles out. So with the slave cylinder being recessed inside of the transmission and the bleeder block being not at the end of the line, you do have the possibility of getting air trapped in this end of the bleeder section, because it's in it goes here and then it goes down in and whatnot. So doing this, I mean, air will naturally rise. This is the highest point aside from the reservoir here. So the goal is to just drip it out until the moving fluid pulls the air bubbles out. And after, 12 ounces of this or so or whatever, I should expect to have all the air out, I'd hope. Clutch feels much stiffer, and I got to do a little bit of aligning because getting in first is a little harder, but I'll work out the cables in the front. But anyway, bam, 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 bam. It's so nice too. It's just it's so crisp, side to side, back and forth. It's just bam, 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 bam. I gotta shim the ball just a whisker more, but that's all of the play in the whole drivetrain. Well, not drive. Sorry, I guess transmission line or whatever you want to call it, but just that little bit of wobbliness from the ball in the cup. I gotta put a shim around the cup to make it squeeze in a little more so it holds it tighter, but that's so nice. It's bleeding it just a little more just to be extra sure. It's not blood, honey, it's fluid. Cut, no.
I don't like fluid.
Oh yeah?
So it's in neutral now. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, reverse.
Been a couple nights, but I'm finally getting around to getting the harness and everything plugged back in and routed back how it was, and tuck away what I can and make shit look pretty. Right now, these are the fuel injector connectors. Those are the injectors in the rail. That's a cam position sensor. I didn't hear it click, but it's not pulling out, so that's a good enough sign. Chuck that back down in there. And then this guy will go to the check valve underneath. Some fun. I gotta get some Tessa tape to rewrap all this stuff. Make it. So all of the engine side is hooked up. I do have to put the coolant reservoir back in. It's just these lines here and these lines here and this connector. And I have to put the front back on. It's just the switch for the fans, the crash sensors, and this coolant temp sensor, as well as my underglow there, and there's another one somewhere. I need to go find the wire for the starter and run that up. I really would like to get a hose in here because this is just fucking awful. And I gotta do the oil pan because, oh my god, and the axles. But the oil pan and the axles are the only mechanical components left to be done. The rest of it is all there. I tucked as much as I could underneath the intake manifold. There's my little rat's nest, but trim up these zip ties and turn them around, and it's really not that bad. From up top, it's all kind of as tidy as it can be. You'll have these two coolant lines and some wiring here, but the rest of it, I mean, I gotta get some Tessa tape. I had some, I don't know where the fuck I put it, but I gotta wrap up all of this into a harness, do some cutting, make things shorter and to length so that I don't have these bundles, because this is kind of as it's gonna be. I don't really have anywhere to tuck any of this. This is the ECU. There's really nowhere for it to go. This is the fuse panel. There's nowhere really for that to go. So that's kind of like as this is gonna be. This will stay in the bay along with all of these conductors, and so I just want to tidy them up. But this will be like that, and you'll have the shifter and everything there, and it'll just be a nice, clean-ish setup. I just had to double check. I got these little caps on the end of the axles, so I just popped them off. Both of them are preloaded in this end already. I just have to open up this side with the zip ties and load them full of grease. It's GSP brand, and I think this is track motive or something else. I don't know. It's the hollow style, like both of them are from the factory. Some people like the solid shaft style. I personally haven't had an issue with either. But the hollow style are supposedly balanced or something, but I don't know. There she is right there. There's the old one. Transmission. I gotta do the axle up right now, and I mean I could start it right now, but this oil pan looks a little unhappy, so I got another one in a box over underneath my other Fortress thing that I made up. But I'm getting this axle bolted up right now. I gotta put the grease in the end. I'm just about to cut this off. Put the grease in the end. This side's already greased. I checked it the other night. Pulled this little plug out, put a pokey down, and then there's grease in there. So that side's good. Fucking just gotta get the axles bolted up, put the batteries back in the car, and swap the oil pan. The bay a little bit more buttoned up. I wrapped up this here wiring harness bit that I put together and got everything separated where it goes to. Made a good use of zip ties here to keep everything together, all these wires. This is the old battery mount fastener, whatever, where it goes. So this is for the clutch line. I just looped it through and whatever. And I redid this line here just because it was unnecessarily long and went out and around and whatever. So I just made it short, gave it some room to flex and whatnot. Just tuck it down, call it good. Redid the starter feed. So now it's a little more direct and doesn't have any extra flop to it. I do got to make up the ground for the starter still. It's still connected to the chassis. I just got to make that up. I got this axle in. It's all buttoned up. I just got to torque this bolt once I set it on the ground. No big deal. All factory hardware. Goody. Made sure to put lots of grease inside of that fucking thing. The whole pack. The end is already greased, as you can see. That's the plug that I pull out of this side. I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. Pull that end off, fill it full of grease. This side's already greased. And then throw it in. And I mean, all that's really left on any of it, and it's not even swap related, it's just the engine itself, is the oil pan is fucking nasty. So I have another one sitting over on the other side of the container, and I just need to throw it in, put the bumper back on. My wheels are in Whitefield right now, getting new rubbers, and I'll pick those up at some point and be good to go. Technically, the 6-speed swap is done. The axles are in, everything's done. I could start the car now, but I'm going to swap the pan real quick before I do that, just because how it looks, and then I'll put the front back together, be done. My wheels are in Whitefield. Gotta pick those up at some point, whenever they're done, but I got some other wheels that I can put on just to torque the front nuts, and then that's it. Couple little things for my own security, you know. These are the starter bolts, and they're only going in that far, that many threads. Sorry, I'm not giving a good angle. Yeah, these are the starter bolts, and so they're only going in like that far into the actual block itself, and I really don't want to strip anything out. So I threw a little bit of Loctite on there, and I'll turn it out to where it's got to be, and let the Loctite do the rest and keep it there, hopefully. So it's always something, but so I put the battery back in the back of the engine, and it primed the fuel pump, and I forgot to put the clamp on the fuel rail, and it fucking sprayed everywhere. Last few things before I start the car. Drain in the oil once again so that I can change this crusty pan out. Look at all that free oil coming out. For any new oil, be $100 in oil by the end of this gone through. Whee! Clean up in there, man. Oh, nice. The pickup is all clean. Anything would focus, there you go. No debris on the pickup. Maybe there's something right there, but nothing to worry about. All clean, man, up in there. Got nothing in the pickup, man. All pickup all clean, man. A little yip celebration for myself. But, I mean, that's it. It's done. I gotta put the headlights and the bumper back on, which is literally fucking 1, 2, 3, 4. And fucking zip ties, and there it is. But I'm gonna let the RTV sit for an hour or so, let it cure, and go inside, take a break. Roz is finally home, and everybody's home, and there, there's my aloe plant. Fucking give me some spacers, 5mm spacers. Gotta get the ones for the rear, but it's done. This is absolutely one of the scariest moments ever, but I just put oil in it. And I'm gonna try and start it. Please, 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 please. Wow. Some oil to be expected. Listen around for noises. Trying to decide what noises I hear that are different. We'll open this up. There's definitely a belt or a pulley squeaking in there somewhere. I'll address. Sounds healthy. Very, very happy. There's definitely a belt squeaking pulley. Probably that lip pulley in there, but happy, happy, happy. So I noticed my gauge, usually on the other engine, it would hang out, at most, it would hang out around 30 under load at like 4K, but this one, it's good we got oil pressure. This is that killer throttle response I'm talking about too. I was in really hard debate about it, but I think I'm just gonna pull a set of wheels off the wall over here and run it up the hill real quick and see how it feels. Everything's fucking bald is the problem. Except for a couple random odds and ends, but oh well. Just threw this shit in the tank just to try to clean up the ports, all the shit that was there. The Boost Bros lip pulley keeps fucking squeaking, pissing me off. Ain't nothing new though. But pretty stoked with it all. I gotta pick up all my mess. But I'm pretty happy that it's all together finally. I've let it idle a while now, between last night and this morning, so I feel comfortable now. I'm gonna give it a little rev, but this is its maiden voyage. I've made it out of the driveway and I'm on the corner of my hill right here. It's not my hill, but it's the hill. And here we go. Go. First look after the business. And there she is, all happy. And everything's all clean, no leaks, nothing. Definitely feels a lot different between the clutch and the shifting. Between how far first to second, third to fourth, fifth to sixes. Feels a lot different, but it feels honestly pretty sweet.